Hi there, I'm Carl Sloman and I'm a dream symbol endorser. I decided I wanted to do a different tact on this particular video, and I wanted to introduce to you something that's very important to me personally, and that is the art of playing with coordination. It is my humble opinion that coordination is the single most important thing for any drummer to be able to master and to get a really good command of. Some people will turn around and say, well, what about technique, or what about speed, or what about any host of different items that you can do on the drum set? All of them are coordination. And let me demonstrate. If I'm playing a drum and I'm using molar technique, for those of you who understand molar, and I do my whipping motion and I come down, what I'm doing is I'm coordinating the muscles in the wrist, so as the wrist comes up, it drops down. I coordinate my elbow and the arm movement as the stick follows through. That's coordination. It's all it is. Everything you do on the drum set is a subset of coordination. So for me, coordination is critical. And I wrote a book about this subject. This is the book here. It's called The Coordination Code. It was released by Alfred in 2012. You can get a copy on Amazon.com or any fine music store near you. This book is revolutionary, and when I say it's revolutionary, you'll often see many people say, yeah, this is revolutionary and that's revolutionary. No, this is a very, very different element that we're talking about. What I have done is I've come up with a whole new way of looking at how we coordinate ourselves on the drum set. I'm going to demonstrate some of that for you right now. I want you at home to try what I'm about to try on the drum kit here, or I shouldn't say try what I will demonstrate on the drum set here. The pattern is as follows. You're going to play right, left, left, right, left, left with the feet. So a triplet feel essentially. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, as follows. Okay, so that's the pattern that we're doing with our feet. With our hands, we're going to play a single stroke roll, right, left, right, left, right, left, which is going to coincide with what I do with my feet. I'm going to explain where I came up with this in a few minutes and how I was inspired to come up with the book and how this actually operates. So let me demonstrate how that works. There's my foot pattern. Now my hand. What you're seeing is that my feet continue to play the same pattern while my hands are playing a different pattern. And that can be very difficult the first time you try it. This is what happens with most drummers when they play this pattern. Feet get going. Now the hands come in and it sounds like this. And the reason this happens is because the left side of the body is trying to coordinate itself together with the right side. And to be a fine drummer or an expert drummer, you need to sever these ties. A great couple of drummers to check out, Marco Miniman, Virgil Donati, and Thomas Lang. They are brilliant at actually breaking their body apart and being able to play separate coordination patterns. I came up with this particular pattern from Mr. Neil Peart, the drummer of Rush. Who has been my favorite drummer for many, many, many years. And Neil uses this pattern in one of his drum solos. And I was always enthralled by how he actually did it, because I was so frustrated that I couldn't get it down. And I'd be sitting there and it'd sound like a train wreck. I was falling down a flight of stairs when I was doing it. So I tried to come up with a new system of how do I approach this in order to make this happen, and I'm going to now explain to you what I did. I was standing in one of my studios one day, and I was going over the pattern thinking, how do I get this down? Right, left, left, right, left, left, and my hands wouldn't follow what it was that I was trying to do. All of a sudden, I had a eureka moment. Why am I trying to put two separate patterns over top of one another? Why instead don't I just look at my body and what my body is actually doing? Now that may seem self-evident to many of you, but it obviously is not, because no one has come up with the system that I have developed. What I mean by that, at looking at your body, is physically say, okay, what am I actually doing here? And let's take a look at that pattern that I was just doing. When I played the first note, I played with my right hand and my left hand together. I decided to call that right, because it's the right side of my body. Then when I went to play the second part of the pattern, I hit with my left hand and my left foot as such. so I decided to call that left. So now I had a right followed by a left. Here's where things, of course, change. I'm going to play another left with my left foot, and I'm going to play a right with my right hand, as such. This is what I call a right cross. It's going across my body, my right hand to my left foot. Once I come through that, I then switch and play the bass drum with the snare drum. That I call a left cross because it's going from my right foot up to my left hand. And the way I look at it is whichever hand is the one that's playing is the dominant and what tells you what the pattern is. So if I'm playing right hand, left foot, it's a right cross. If I'm playing left hand, right foot, it's a left cross. I'm finishing up the pattern. I come back onto the pattern, so the next one is going to end up being a right hand and left foot. So I've got a right cross, and then the pattern finishes with me hitting left hand, left foot together. So instead of now trying to work this out of two separate patterns of right, left, left, right, left, left, and then with my hands, right, left, right, left, right, left, which makes very difficult times and very difficult tasks for the people who try to do this, I had now come up with a system by using letters in order to describe what I was going to do. So instead of looking at it as a single stroke roll with a triplet pattern underneath, instead what I looked at it was a right, left, right cross, left cross, right cross, left. And I wrote that down with letters. And I thought, okay, this is great. I've now finally got a system where I can notate it using letters to tell me what to do. However, it didn't stop there. I work with disabled students often, and what I've found with my disabled students is that when they read certain things as they're playing, they view it from a different perspective than those of us who are able-bodied. So what I thought was, okay, how can I come up with another system of, say, symbols or pictures that would actually represent the body? And here's what I came up with. I'm going to show you on the poster that I have here, and I'm going to use my overhead cam to demonstrate to you what goes on. First thing I do is I broke the body down into four parts. We have our upper left quadrant, which is your upper left part of your body or your left hand. The upper right quadrant, which is your right hand. The lower right quadrant, which is your right foot, and the lower left quadrant, which is your left foot. Now, when we as drummers play, we often work on three different axes. The first one is we work on what I call the horizontal movements, or the horizontal quadrants. That's right hand, left hand, or right foot, right foot, left foot. This is how most drummers play, and how, as we're elementary drummers, we learn things. However, there's other ways we can also play. More experienced and advanced drummers will often look at what we call the vertical quadrant. So right hand, right foot, or left hand, left foot, left foot. These are the verticals. And then the final one to practice, which is what advanced players play or expert players play, are our cross quadrants. And that's right hand, left foot, left foot, or left hand, right foot, right foot. And you can play rudiments to these, play paradiddles using these, use single stroke rolls. From there, I came up, because I had broken the body down into four quadrants, of a pictorial way to represent it. And if we look on my poster that is included with the book, we take a look and we see what I call a window. It's a box with four boxes inside it. When we don't play anything, all the boxes are blank, which is essentially a rest. When we want to play with one quadrant, which means if I want you to play with one part of your body, you have four essential choices. You can play with the upper right, which is filled in black, the upper left, which is filled in black in this diagram, the lower left in this diagram, and the lower right. So when we look at those, you can actually see visually how it relates to the body. When we do two quadrants, we actually have 6 versions, and I discussed part of that earlier on. We start with both of the top ones filled, that's our hands. Both of the bottom ones filled, our feet. The right side of our body, the left side of our body, the right cross, and the left cross. We get to third quadrants, or 3-quadrant playing. If we take a look at the first one, we have our left hand, our left foot, and our right foot, our right hand, right foot, left foot, our right hand, left foot, and our left hand, right foot. And then finally, the last quadrant is all 4 parts playing together. By doing this, we have 16 entire patterns that we have to learn. Those 16 patterns include every possible combination of coordination that you can possibly play. So now when we start to play different patterns and we want to come up with different ideas of how to move forward, we can actually notate it by using these actual pictograms, as I show down here. Here is the standard writing of how something would work. Then I have the pictograms underneath it to show how we would play it with the pictures. We have a second set of pictures, which are arrows, which allow us to then move through and use another form of pictures just in case the boxes don't work effectively for you. I'm now going to show you how this looks in my book, and then we will try the same experiment and the same exercise I showed you earlier using the actual codes from within the book.